in St. Kitts and Nevis and throughout the entire Caribbean region. Straight Talk is a public service program, just for those who are joining me for the first time, that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. Let's, in the process, continue to keep St. Kitts and Nevis as one of the freest countries in the entire world. In this program, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Liburd, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And my Straight Talk family, again, if you're a first-timer, we do inform you as well that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we entertain your calls, we include your emails, and my Straight Talk family, yes, some of you just like to listen, and we welcome you as well, because you are the ones who make Straight Talk. And my family, again, it's 10 after 8 o'clock. What happened to me? I started a little late again tonight, and I do humbly apologize for that. And I want to say to my Straight Talk family, it's such a wonderful feeling to be at home. You know, home is where the heart is. And I can tell you that things are going well. I was listening to a calypso on my way to the studio, and perhaps that's what made me just come leisurely along, because the calypso, the lyrics were saying, if I recall, the country running good. And really the country is running good, believe it or not, no matter what they say, no matter what they try to do. Sometimes you're outside and you hear some things and you wonder what's going on in St. Kitts. But in fact, things are going good in St. Kitts and Nevis, my Straight Talk family. And tonight I wish to discuss giving, the topic of giving, my Straight Talk family, because the Bible, I think it's in Corinthians, somewhere in Corinthians, the Bible says, whosoever, I think it goes like, whosoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. And each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give. And this is a season of love, it's a season of joy, and it is a season of giving. And I heard an empty vessel some days ago. I heard an empty vessel making some noise about even my own giving. And I had to sit back and just smile, because, you know, they said empty vessels make the most noise, so you just ignore them. Because I have been given for a long time. I have been given long before I even entered into elective politics. And I will continue to give. And this empty vessel was making some noise about my giving, not what I gave, but he said that I had a picture on what I was given. And yes, I had a picture card which says, "Season's greetings. May your Yuletide season be filled with love, joy, and happiness. Always peaceful, H.E. Ian Liburd." And perhaps he wanted to see a card with reindeers and Santa Claus and all sorts of old traditional nonsense. But that won't really stop me from giving. Because the truth is, you know, There's some people who enter politics for what they can get and not for what they can give. They don't enter politics to serve you. And I recall that I gave half of my salary, and I will give half of my salary again, given the opportunity. Because one evening I was doing some canvassing in my area in Newtown, right downtown Newtown, in the heart of Newtown where I was born, just off the Bay Road. And normally when it comes around 7 o'clock, or it gets, but normally when it gets dark, you don't normally go into people's home, you know, or disturb people, so to speak. And something told me to walk through this alley. But even before that, I recall when I started my canvassing, especially there off George Street, down on Meadows Alley, down Douglas Street, and those alleys through the Herbert Alley and so on, you would not believe that some of those, what I call tenement houses, are still the same today as they were 30 and 40 years ago. Some people still living in houses that we call them back then houses that are big in the day and small in the night. As we say in colloquial language, house bigger day, smaller night. How many of you have heard that term? You think about, you ponder on that and tell me what it means. But you see, giving is something that is a command from God. And God expects everybody to obey this command, especially Christians. You know, but not all men can and would obey the Lord's commands. So not all people will give to others, and as it is expected of them. But if we are a Christian people, and in St. Kitts and Nevis we are a Christian people, we all came up in church and Sunday school. Sometimes we went to 3 and maybe 4 Sunday schools in one Sunday afternoon. I went to, in fact, 3 to be exact. The Moravian I had to go to Sunday school. My grandmother was Methodist, so I had to go to Hope Chapel. And then you had Mrs. Richardson Miss Richardson on George Street. She had her Sunday school as well. So I went to 3 Sunday schools, believe it or not. So I understand the ministry of giving. And as I said, there's some people who enter into politics to see what they can get. And you can think of politicians, and I want to forewarn you, they are a young set of politicians have come onto on the scene. And you wonder sometimes what our country will be like if the power and authority falls into the hands of these young politicians. And you know who they are, so no need to call their names. But there are sets of politicians, even as I speak, with authority, that they look for what they can get and not what they can give. And I can reflect, for example, on, let's look at Asim Martin, for example, right? I remember Asim Martin lived in a one-bedroom apartment just off Wade's Garden there, and he in his possession he had an old Suzuki Jeep, and he got into office, and I helped him to get into office, I'll confess. But look at Asim today. After 20 years in politics, he has 5 condominium apartments and other apartments, and the man is dirt rich. But ask yourselves, what did he give? Tell me, what did he give? And perhaps you can more easily say what he got. There's another politician who went into elective politics by the name of Gerald Anthony Dwyer-Stefan. He comes on like he's a pagan of virtue. He was one. You would ask him, what did he give? But sure, no one can say what he give or what did he give? But you can easily say, what did he get? I remember Dwyer Stefan driving a Nissan Laurel, a Datsun Nissan Laurel, I think it's called. Old Rankatang car, we used to call him. And in his first month in office, he moved up to a Pajero. A Pajero. When they were there saying about the Pajero gang. But what did he give? But you can show he was living in a house just above me. Above me, called a rented house, we call them. And in 5 years in office, the man constructed a $2 million home in Frigate Bay. What did he give? I have been living in a house before I got into politics. I still live in the house. Mark you, I'm not saying that people should have advanced themselves. But you ask yourselves, what did they give? But that's the question, that's the discussion I want us to have tonight. The discussion of giving. Now, I would like to emphasize that giving is a ministry on its own. And I am here for the last couple of weeks, and I'm embarked upon my ministry of giving. I've gave back, as I said last week, I said on Monday to be exact, to the tenants over there in the Wellington Road housing complex, the condominium project. I gave every single resident a gift and a food basket. We call them the mini barrels. On Monday, we distributed non-pharmaceutical products to the schools in the constituency. I did so just today to what we call the Roman school back then, young days coming up. And we had the convent school. It's now merged and it's called the Immaculate School of Conception? Forgive me if I got that wrong, but forgive me. But I gave back. And I continue giving. Yesterday, we had a wonderful party, and the Ministry of Giving continued, and we gave toys to over 300 children in the community. And I was humbled. It was heartwarming to see some children smile, when they got their toys. And that was a great and humiliating feeling for me to see children can, at this time, this Yuletide season of joy and happiness, would be so elated with the toy they got. And that came from the heart. And I can continue on and on tonight and start to talk about giving. Someone just texted me and asked me, what about the leader who had 17 homes? Well, we ask ourselves to what did he give? Remember the days, our days growing up, when your neighbor cooked, they will share food with the neighbor. When you don't see your neighbor this morning, you ask, where's your neighbor? Is something wrong with him or her? Does that exist today? Ask yourself that. We are living so close, but yet we are so far away. We don't share no longer with each other. The politics divide us. And I'm saying in this Yuletide season, in this season of Advent, when we prepare for the coming of Christ, the incarnate Son of God, let us think about giving. What did you give? Do you have anything to give? Do you share with your neighbors? Do you share with strangers? Do you share with friends? Do you continue to be so selfish instead of being selfless? This is a discussion I want to have tonight with you. Let's just talk about giving. Giving back for what you got. Because, my Straight Dog family, it is an important ministry. As I said, there were fivefold ministries in the Bible. Ephesians 4 11 says, so thus giving is also a separate ministry on its own. As such, you must treat and practice this ministry with all seriousness as others. As I said before, the giving is a command from God, and He expects everybody to obey that command, especially Christians. But just not all men can and would obey the Lord's commands. So also not all people will give to others as it is expected of them. But as Christians, God has called each and every one of us into the ministry of giving, and we must give unto others because it is our Christian duties. Let's think about giving. Let's reflect tonight. Do you share with your neighbor? Do you care if your neighbor's son has food to eat or children has food to eat? We used to share back then. What's happening now? I'm going to open the lines, my Straight Talk family, and hear your view on giving and any other issue you may want to raise. But I must implore you, first of all, that when I open the lines, I anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in the process of saying and or doing those things, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. The numbers are 466 or 465-2555 and or 718-577-2916. If you are one who likes the cloak of anonymity, then you can email us at ZIZ-Straight-Talk. That's one word, ZIZ-STRAIGHTT. ZIZ-Straight-Talk at gmail.com. And my Straight Talk family, let us strive to build a kinder and gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. It's 28 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. I go to the lines and say, caller, you are live.
A pleasant good evening to you, Dr. Ian Patches Liburd.
Your humble servant. Good evening, my dear brother. Culture.
Yeah.
You're batting number one.
I hit the tape number one too.
You did?
Yeah,
oh,
you
yes.
finished line number one.
Yes, you always did.
Yeah. Now, I know you're good, so I wouldn't even ask you how are you, because you sound gooder than Monday.
Peaceful.
Dialect grammar. I like the topic you come with tonight here. Giving. Now, you see, you said you heard an empty vessel some time ago. Well, a lot of that happens every day. And you know, we most of it is coming from. Now, it has more than an empty vessel. It has what you call a flag. And you know, a flag follow the wind wherever the wind goes. And that empty vessel totally has no respect for the leader of the country or the office that the leader of the country has, and others like you. You're not what you call in parliament, because you're not a politician. And every day that empty vessel full of his belly with gas by calling your name and the Prime Minister name, and he cannot put you all no lower than ground zero. Because if you go below ground zero, you're going to meet the devil head, because they say the devil down hell underneath there. And the amount of deplorable things that the man is saying about the Prime Minister, disrespecting the Prime Minister, not even Mr. Harris, but Timothy this, I want me money from Timothy. Timothy make me lose my work in TDC, and he owe me money and I want me money. Well, anyway, what start wrong cannot end right. And we know how such individual reach here on earth, Mother Earth, okay? sister, his cousin, and grandfather and all of that. But anyway, let me go now to Mr. Rat Farmer, who always got your name and saying that a lot of things need to be investigated. A lot of things need to be investigated, yes. Because Rat Farmer, forget that he said one time he went in a house in McKnight and he saw a lot of passport in there on a bed. Well, who can outlive about 25 passport on earth? Who? None. There were new passport ready to be given to those people that was coming in from Santo Domingo, from St. Martin in a boat. And when the pilot, the captain for the St. Martin Coast Guard whalers were going down, he made the call to St. Kitts, and our good friend happened to be in the area, and he picked up the phone, and then he get to know what was going on. So they went, they hold them, carry them back. But then, what happened to the passport them? Those are the same people whose name was put down in Central Bastille and Church Street, living there. So the passport here was here waiting for them. So that is what the Rat Farmer ever gave back, since the Rat Farmer is in politics. And if the government they give the Rat Farmer the job to be the lawyer button up, to build the pier, then the lawyer button up, which is the Rat Farmer, would not have been cussing and abusing and going on and saying a lot of things to be investigated. But you know, Stead from the tongue who used to sell the starfish cake and whatnot on the bay. Stead was a big palm, and Stead happened to get a piece of the old long pier warehouse to ply she trade. And everybody said, well, how you could give she that? And she a palm. Well, that is what the farmer, the Rat Farmer said people used to say. But then let me investigate now. When Stead Petty went, how far the rent reach, where the money will end up, and then the biggest farmer in St. Kitts, I don't know the farmer name, but I know the village where the farmer had the ground. That is down Newton ground, where there was the biggest pumpkin ever go in St. Kitts, the biggest. That was sold too, and it never sold in Sandy Point Market, not Bastille Market, but it was sold. And where the money for that gone? That they need to be investigated, instead of investigating Patches and the government and Timothy and the government. And the last thing I was saying, they're going to move quick. Then we need to investigate the great golf course that they will be playing on sometime in January, down in Sandy Point, down Belfield. We need to investigate about that. And other things we need to be investigate about the Rat Farmer. Patches, thank you so long. I'll be back. If I get back in tonight on the radio, I wish you all the best for the New Year and for the Christmas. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But I know you're going to see me when I see you. See you when I see you.
See you when I see you, my brother. I thought it was straight talk, but we hear some parables there about the Rat Farmer and the investigator and so on. But let's hear what's on your mind, caller. You're live.
Good night, how are you?
I am peaceful. Sounds like Alice in Wonderland.
I sympathy. I come in to hear you sing.
Thank you.
Whoever your major is you that send him to, and to distract your callers. You know they don't want you. Keep no program. All at once he going on all the radio program, which is big diplomatic talk, and want to help you. Like we don't know what he's saying. He cannot stop nothing. Bad talk cheap. Nobody studying them. Let him go on the panic factory and tell them what he know. Not your callers. He don't see nothing good doing to talk about. Let him say the good you're doing and all you're giving out. They're showing up now. Know them. They must not put their frustration from their boss on your callers. Who do that? Patches do that. Coming back.
Thank you very much. Patches don't do that. Let's go back to the lines. Call you live.
Yes, good evening, Uncle Patches.
How is the People's King tonight?
Well, boy, I'm giving thanks. But I want to back up my good friend there, Culture, with the rat farmer. This up at your town where you're born and reared, where they have the culture building, where they make what they call souvenirs and display things for tourist people and so on. I forget whether they got a special word for it. It's a building up there by the park there where what is your man? Oh Lord. Southwell buses, right upstairs in the blue building. There are some beautiful things in the yard there. And all of them were sold. Where the money gone? The same place where Stead used to be. It's sold. Where the money gone? Where is the money? You know, he talking about investigating and investigating this and that. And the whole trouble about it, he throwing all kind of sign. And they see only them property, say he selling, until he being stopped. Hands off. Went all the way down to Barbados, trying to sell the people them property. And nobody there left nothing for him. You understand me? So I don't know what he upset about. Coming on talking all kind of ignorance. He done fool Doggy. And Doggy, he went back with Doggy. The other day he want to go to the convention. Doggy said not he. He and Sam is the traitor. You understand me? And then allow them to come to the seminar where they had picking a leader. You understand me? So when they calling and they're talking on the radio, they need to pick the beam out of the oil first. You understand? And before they get around to people. Because when he was in government, all what I already done for him, up to getting the job for him. You understand me? Because his sister never get the place of the airport and you know about that package because he was in charge at the time. They harass you about it. They don't like you from since that. You know that, I know that, because we know what went down. Right? And the fact remains he got to cabinet every Monday morning. And one day Tim had to tell him, man, look, let's get down with the government business. Every morning you come in here and rock. You understand me? And I the one, you know, who introduced him to Dougie to get the work, to run in Central. I the one who helped him with everything. When I couldn't get red shirt for him, I sent pink. Pink gloves, pink, all kind of thing. You understand me? But there's a set of ungrateful people. Don't bother with them patches. You understand me? That's the going to stay right there. He figure because he got a sand crab color, he should be the prime minister, isn't it? You understand me? I'm talking about he had the majority, the biggest constituency. But he forget Khan is the biggest constituency. You know? So, don't want bother with him. But that is all I could tell you. Just keep up the good work you're doing and continue to do what God put you there to do. And you use the word that you're giving and giving and giving. Well, I has given a lot when I can receive. You understand me? I would like to know when I can receive. You understand me? So next time you're giving, don't forget to pass by me. Okay, brother. God bless you.
Bless you as well, my brother. Whosoever sows, sweat generously, I think the Bible says, will also reap generously. Patches, why Dwyer don't keep off the radio with his unfounded remarks, reads this email. Coupled with a lot of hearsay and demsay. Hear him, I am told this and I am told that. And if what he's hearing is true, everything he say hereafter is all a negative criticism of the government. If Dwyer wants the contract to build the next prison or the new prison, all he has to do is make the bid for it, similar to the new pier where he failed miserably because of his poor insight, Come on, Dwyer. Try your luck again. This time, you may succeed to build a new prison, and you will have all right to enter and take out prisoners to Marriott as you see fit. That is straight talk. Let's go back to the lights. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller?
Yes. Good evening, everyone, parties.
How are you, my dear?
Good. People got to know to say what they got to say. If you want to say something, you say too. But try not going in the courts. But when they put on the money on the phone, they say, oh, what they got to say. You can say what you got to say too. I saw you put a picture earlier. We're planting a Christmas tree up by the Central Bank up there. Somebody show me it. Says he want me husband here. And somebody told me that you're going to look at a memorial service for your father up by Moravian.
Anything else, my dear? What else you heard? What else did you hear?
What I do?
What else did you hear?
I hear you always otherwise because everybody wants something from you now. Because I beg, they want to beg too smartly.
You think I should give them?
I was blessed night. When the program going to be?
We will talk again, my dear, but don't let them know what you got, okay?
No. When the program going to be for your father memorial
on Tuesday. On Tuesday, my dear. On Tuesday, I'm told. On Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yes.
What time was that day?
3 o'clock.
8 o'clock?
3 o'clock, my dear.
Okay, I can see.
Okay.
My body was mountain.
You live mountain? Only
yes, save
only rich people live in the mountain. Only rich people live in mountain.
Yeah, but then me up here got the car. Me not gonna car. Me can't drive.
Okay, bye. Go back to the old buggy.
All right.
Have a nice night, man.
Tell your wife hello and the children.
Okay, my dear.
Okay.
Okay.
See you. Love you.
Love you
okay,
more.
bye.
That is my good neighbor friend. Caller, you're live.
Yeah, good night again.
What? You doing hot?
Thanks for giving Roman school. That's my school. I went to school.
Okay. A lot of us don't remember Roman school, you know?
With the nuns.
Yes.
When they put you to kneel down and they banging you, you hear the thing them and their big clothes, plap, plap. You can't see no part of the head, only the eye.
Those were the days. Those were the days.
No, Mr. Liburd, a minister was on the panic factory talking, then leave. When the callers here so, they had such abusing because they could not ask him no question, especially one. Maybe they right, there is his friend, not who put them there, and not looking into nothing. And I think you, when we speak, you must look into what we are saying, not to be talking all the time for the new year, God's spear. We're not supposed to come back with the same thing. The opposition laughing, they did not put them there and have 2 to 3 jobs. Who put them there can't get, and not looking into nothing. The embassy with the man straightened out because at a rebroadcast, they was talking about you. But the embassy, you did not answer me what the listeners wanted to say.
The embassy? Which embassy is that?
Retire is.
The mission? Yeah. What about it?
Yes, no. On the rebroadcast, Tuesday night from the Prime Minister, that was maybe 2 weeks ago, a man was saying that he wasn't taking up his call. Okay. Yes. And you did not answer my question when your callers want to know who paying and how much. You didn't answer.
Who paying what?
Who paying your program? Your listeners want to know.
Oh, okay.
Who paying your program and how much? Not the callers, the listeners. Not because we're small and could open up and things could happen. Big country like Trinidad still locked down. Anything could happen and they're still abusing. Stop abuse. Who want to call, email, also it's a matter to them. 20 years was not easy for me. Have a good night, blessed weekend. I am calling on the Minister of Health. The town will clean up for the next year. Mr. Evelyn Larson Space. Culture, good night, and you have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend as well, my dear. The key word, though, is that you said I am paying, which is important, because some people don't want to pay ZIZ. Even the Labour administration under Douglas, I understand that ZIZ is still holding a bill for them. But Dwyer have started this vigorous campaign for Dr. Drew with this email, because he opines he could use and control him. Dr. Drew, I am sure, knows Dwyer's past history of deception. Say good things about you to your face. And as you turn your back, he has worse things to say about you. Beware of this traitor, as Douglas labeled him, who hopped the Labour train because he failed miserably to succeed as a lawyer. Dr. Drew is coming back again. Something he wants. Raise this email. 14 before 9, caller you live. I seem to have missed that call. Let's take this caller. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller?
Patrick.
Yes, so turn your radio down, my brother. Hello? Hello, just turn your radio down, turn your equipment down. Just speak to your telephone. I want the whole world to hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yes, I want the whole world to hear you.
Okay, Patrick, this is Country.
Hi, Country. Well, how are you, man?
Country.
Yes, I recognize the voice now.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. I understand you back home, and the association, this bus association, they are inviting you. They are inviting you back there to have a talk with you, because up to now things are not happening, right? And we were supposed to get police present there and so on. We haven't even getting police present. The minority downtown as usual. And since they put Elmer to run the traffic department, that's the worst traffic department ever been. The mechanics there is so sorry in the vehicle, Elmer vehicle, and Bork and Arnie, and as I said before, the worst stage traffic department ever in. Okay, so we are trying to invite you up there. I don't know when it might be. We're glad if you could come tomorrow so we could have a talk with you, because it's not working. And that's the official bus station. We have toilet, we have these things and so on, and it's not working really. Eh? We're happy for it, but it's not working. So that's about it.
Tomorrow is Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow is Friday.
I always like to have dialogue with everyone, so I wouldn't say no. What is a good time tomorrow? You say?
Well, I believe it could be midday, in the after midday when everybody is there, waiting for 4 hours and so before we could get a couple passengers, you know. I don't know. We have traffic warden up there where the buses don't really respect them, and we have a letter that's signed for police present. And we're not seeing any police officers. Downtown got about 4 police officers, and nothing happening. You see? So right now we see whether they plan to turn traffic department in Sesame Street, you know.
But have you reached out? Have the association reached out to the Minister of Transport, no?
Every month. Every month, the president have meetings and meetings upon meetings, and nothing is happening. Nothing happening at all.
Here's what I find some time. I've always had discussion and dialogue with the bus associations, I should say, and I'm available to listen and provide any advice. 12 o'clock is a little tight for me though. Perhaps maybe a little later than 12 and just before 4 o'clock, maybe a good time for me, right?
Well, as the PRO, I had to count the message, so I would be grateful if you could give us a time, and I'm really grateful seeing you. Because that is your invention, and I mean, ain't nothing better you could have done for us, you know what I'm saying? But it's just not working. I mean, the chief already said what he have to say, but nothing still happening.
Okay, let's shoot for about 2:30. That's good enough for you?
2:30.
2:30.
2:40, 20 to 3?
2:30.
Yeah,
half past 2.
Okay. We're looking forward to see you.
I'll try and come tomorrow, God's Spear, my brother.
All right, all the best.
All the best to you as well. Thanks for calling. We go back to the lines. Call out your live. You wonder what's happening with this situation. Yes, the model bus terminal, but it ought to be working. Let's hear what's happening, though. Tomorrow we'll do. 10 to 9, call your live.
Good evening, Patrick. How are you this evening, sir?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
Good. The subject you touch on tonight is very appropriate because I was going to touch on that tonight about the goodness of you. You know your hero, Sylvie. She's doing all right, you know. She was on the Sound of Praise up to this morning. That thing that happened there, I said, you know.
Okay.
I know you asked about her.
Yes, I did.
I thought all we had left in Sinkit were thieves and liars. But truth be told, Sinkit still have a few good people like you left. You guys should try to give those people, that club, some sort of earthly reward. The morning praise people, they are doing God's work. To get up that time of the morning practice, to spread God's work, says a lot. There's a young kid there, his brother Pastor Christos. He's very earnest in way to get up that, we need more young people like him. And Sister Agatha, she's very knowledgeable. And so is the gentleman who calls in from Sandy Point. He's a teacher, I think, maybe retired. He's good and very knowledgeable too. And so is the gentleman, that same man, the teacher guy. I don't remember his name, but, And Jazzy D is really spot on with the hymns and so on. So they're doing a good job, and this is some of the goodness I also see in Sinkits is that whenever one is trying to reverse into a parking spot, they all get in line and they try to show you how to get in. They try to help you into that spot. And this is the Sinkits that we know, you know what I'm saying, Patches? They start directing you. And I said, wow, look at this. This is great because this is the old Sinkit. You see what I'm saying, Patches? Now look at you. You're just a basic, kind and decent human being. Look at how you look out for the poor people. And I'm serious. And politics have very little to do with it. Casilda can't vote for you, but you look at things, you look too far. But another thing, you got to be careful with a lot of these petitions, because once they start begging, they don't stop. A lot of these people, they're terrible. But you're doing God's work package. You got to remember, people who say they live, but they don't give out nothing. Okay? They're hard-hearted, no good people. They're thieves and liars. Now, a lot of these loudmouths you hear talk, labor, this, labor, they have no clue, Patches. It's the Herbert people, the family, who pretty much started that labor thing, a founding member. My grandmother and grandfather always told us about Jetty Manchester from Sandy Point. This is the man that's a founding member of Liburd. They don't know what's going on. They're just loudmouth. Okay, Patches? No, when my grandfather passed, when he died, okay, in the church, pretty much rubbing up on each other was William Herbert Sr. and Bratcher. Pretty much sat together up there in that church in the Methodist. Okay? And when my grandma died, guess who was there? Limor and Billy Herbert sat there pretty much jam up on the same, bench and everything. Okay? And these were the things in there. But you get these loudmouth people like idiots like Earl Clark. He's a troublemaker, that guy. He's living in 1940. Okay? But this is what's gonna. But Pat, you know what used to happen? And there was a lady named Dawn Tudu. You must know Dawn Tudu, Patrick. She was a lady who used to walk around and lift up her dress and tear her behind the people, you know. She used to do that for veteran, for labor. You know, but you know that tear bomb business come out of Africa, you know. I say quietly, that tear bomb stuff comes out of Africa. So but a lot of these guys now, they stop tearing the bomb, they tear them out open. But it's sad. You have done so much. You're just a basic, decent person, man. And God gonna bless you. You see all them gonna die fast. You see how Squeezy Gaxford died? He couldn't talk. Sitting in nursing home, couldn't even open his mouth, spread out anything. That boy, brother-in-law. So leave them. Because when you're even there, gonna be dead. So leave them alone. But Patrick, thank you for the work you're doing, and God bless you. Okay, have a good one, Patrick.
Have a good one as well. Thanks for the commendation, my dear brother. At 9:05, we go back to the lines. We're talking about giving. Remember those days when everybody would give? And it's a command of God. Caller, you're like.
Yeah, namesake.
My brother.
Yes, good night to you, my brother.
Good night.
I see you come Santa Claus now, you give a lot of gifts all over the place, man.
It's a command.
See on Facebook.
It's a command. It's God's command. It's a command from God. He
expects
everybody to obey His command.
Brother, continue to do what God has asked you to do, because only people with guilty conscience that are going to kill enough of us. Because some of us so ungrateful. We want to bite the hand that feeds us and still want to say, yeah. But God is not a hypocrite and God is not a crook. I keep telling the people them that. But Patrick, I want to say, I hear country were talking, they've been dialing for a while trying to get in. But the problem we have up here at this East Line bus terminal, every night after the crossing guard left in the afternoon with a 5 o'clock or whatever time they left, all the buses then coming from down the bay or downtown, picking up the people then from Baker's Corner, from the roundabout, come up to the bus terminal. Even for the bus terminal, they might come and pick up people. And this is something that we need a police up here that give them some serious tickets, let them pay some serious money. Because down in town that 4 and 5 police by the West Line. How come the East Line don't get a police up to today? Since this bus line open, not a police will see up here. After the crossing guard them down afternoon time. And it's not fair. I come up here last night, I'm surprised, by 8:30 last night, no bus up here because the man and them get fed up and waiting here. And then bus come up the road, well, them in there wait, bus come up the road and pick up passengers. Come right in front of the bus terminal, picking up passengers, well, bus in here wait from people. That is not right. Somebody only come in here when they're in the bus in here. Huh? There was a worthless set of greedy set of people, only them one. You understand? And these are the things that we got to get rid of. Everybody must be fair share. And if you can't come in here in the day, why you want to come in here in the night when the bus in here? Because you want to come in and hug up under the gate who get full up. And then the bus running there all day. Can't even get 2 trips because you went on the road all day. And then you want to come in when the bus in here. You know, these are the things that we got to get started out. Otherwise, it will never be right up here on the East Line bus terminal. They need a police here from 5 o'clock until at least 9:30 when people going out of town, the late workers them. Because until we get a start out, up here will never run right. You hear me? And I want to say tonight, we need to ask Goya to tell us about the money down the valley. Because to know not even one golf hole down there when somebody instead of play golf down the arena, golf down there, but not even one golf hole down in the valley. So Goya need to tell us how the money go down in the valley. When you go on the radio talk, you need to pick the beam out of the eye before they go talk to people with the mouth in the people next brother eye. You need to tell us how the taxpayers' money go, our CBI money. And now you got to stop play with these guys messing around with the taxpayers' money in St. Peter and Nevis. Too many of them have come out millionaires, and the people of the country still broke. Can't even pay the water bill and the light bill, all because one set coming out with a pocket full, and the rest, they said to hell with them, because they bowl full, and they got a deep bowl, and they spoon to dip up, and share to themselves. That is, I want to say to the Unity team, you are doing a good job, the best ever, after Pam. And I want to say to you, Denzel had 20 years, mess up the country, because St. Kitts and Nevis had no call to be paying back, no 15 or 17% back, all because of recklessness and what she called him, a hooliganism, take us to the IMF when you had, in 2010, you had 1.5 billion US from our citizenship by investment, and by 2011, you take us to the IMF. Go begging. And I want to say to you guys, you got to stand up and show Denzel. The country does not belong to Denzel, it belongs to all of us. The country give to him on a platter. So, well, Denzel, this area belongs to you, so you control and protect and line. No, we are saying that the Sinkit belongs to Sinkit and Nevis belongs to the people. And anything sharing out, we must be first in line. May God bless you as we continue to champion the cause for Sinkit and Nevis, that we stay strong and we stay steadfast and we keep your eye on the prize. May God bless you as you continue to do the best for the people. God bless you. Have a good night.
God bless you as well. And a lot of people are talking about Dwyer's comments about investigation, you know. And I will voluntarily submit to any investigation as it relates to my ministry. And he must as well, because he has, you know, so many things in his closet. And one of these things that caller just made mention of, it has to do with the people's money. Over $54 million on a golf course. It should have been in the valley. There's no golf course. The fence has disappeared. Where has the money gone? And why was asked that question pointedly? And he has no response. But I believe we should take this to another step. And as I suggested before, the DPP has the authority to introduce a criminal investigation, have what we call a criminal referral, because Dwyer cannot and should not be allowed to go like this.
Apparently, he wants me to explain to the nation why I, as a minister, signed an agreement. Well, it seems as though he wants me to explain why I signed. I'm told that he said he's not accusing anybody of bubble, but that he was just asking, where's the money? That's what I'm told, right? And I don't remember. But let me say what I have to say. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
You can't say it didn't happen. So tell us where the money gone, Dwyer Astafan. But we're talking about giving tonight. Caller, what's on your mind? Do you remember those days when we used to give? Why have we stopped giving? Are you there, caller?
Yeah.
Yes, my dear.
Hello.
You're live.
Hi. Good evening, Patrice.
Good evening, my dear.
Yes, I'm here. I have a big concern. Again, I spoke to the Prime Minister 2 weeks ago concerning this barrel business searching. Have a deep concern about it, right? And since that everything is changing, by the, Friday we land and go, Port-Zante fence come down, and they're still searching people's barrel behind the back. I don't think that is right. I don't think that is legal. I have a deep concern because, again, people been missing things, and the port now, they're saying they have in a body camera. Please, for God's sake. One day, port lady came out, so she's talking about the body camera and they're excited. But I think she putting on icing on a cake that's not baked, and the icing cannot stay on. I think they should go back to the old time thing. Search the barrel in front of the customer them. I have a deep concern. Last year, I lost 5 bottles of this liquid. All the time I've been sending things. And my things are to come perfect. And last year, 5 bottles of this liquid, large one. The thing is that they go to search the barrels. They don't have time. They don't have the patience to put back the things properly. So that's why the customer supposed to be there, and when the port officer search the barrel, then the customer responsible to put back the things in the barrel, back in the barrel, because I know they don't have time to do that. And when you take out things that you didn't pack, you cannot pack it back. So I think that the Prime Minister said he was going to work on it. And I want him please to do it, because I sending my barrel them down there. I've been sending barrel for many years now, and I didn't have that problem. And I don't think I should have that problem. I don't think nobody's supposed to go into my barrel behind my back. I know I have to toil hard for my things them. And then the thing is that, oh, if you miss anything, come and complain. That is too much of stress. That's too much of stress, Patrice. So please look into it. Let us go back to either something like normal or something like normal. Camera, camera, that is not working. That is not working at all. So don't let it come up and tell me about no camera. Because man make it, man could default it. So please look into it. Please, I'm asking you, because I'm very concerned about it and I'm going to advocate about it. Because other country does not do that. I've been around Jamaicans, I've been around Africans, I've been around other Spanish and all them things there. And they all same things. And they don't have that problem. Why should we have that problem? We are not the only one that the corona take over. She come out to talk about bottleneck. Oh, they have a lot of bottleneck. If coming on to December, it's crowded. Go to the 6 farmers. Go to 6 farm and they have people that sit exam, waiting for a job. They can give them something to do at Christmas time. Nevis and St. Kitts, 6 farmers, put them out to learn that that if even one of them sick, they could say, oh, I know a 6 farmer had came here and they do well, so we can call them to fill in that space. We have to get the young people them on the foot. So please, I don't like it. And it's bothered me a lot. It's bothered me. And I think I see it. I had problem up the airport too. Because I see how they have things at the airport. So imagine down there a barrel. You go into a barrel, when the more you go in, the more you see. You cannot put them back. So please, Patrice, I know you're good. Look into it for me, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I've heard your pain. I heard the pain in your voice. And very interesting perspective. I've heard of it, and I forgot to make some investigations myself as it relates to the customs and the authority of customs and what they can do in keeping with the law. And the Customs Control and Management Act, it speaks to in section 91, power to examine and take account of goods. And it reads and it says under subsection 1, without prejudice to any other power conferred by any customs enactment, an officer may examine and take account of any goods, A, which have been imported, which are in a warehouse or a customs warehouse, which have been loaded into or unloaded from any vessel or aircraft at any place in St. Christopher and Nevis. D, which may have entered for exportation or for use as stores. E, which have been brought to any place in St. Christopher and Nevis for exportation or for use as stores, or for shipment, exportation, or for use as stores, or in respect of which any claim, may, drawback, allowance, rebate, remission, or repayment of duty has been made, and may, for that purpose, require any container to be opened or unpacked. An examination of goods by any officer under subsection 1 shall be made at such time and place as the officer may direct. And it goes on to bringing of goods to a place directed under subsection 2, and the unloading of opening, unpacking, and so on. And the goods are kept for the purpose of an incidental to the examination or for the use as stores. And it says, if any imported goods which an officer has the power under this act to examine, and goods other than imported goods which an officer has directed to be brought to a place for purpose of examination, without the authority of the proper officer removed from the customs charge, they have been examined, those goods shall be liable to forfeiture. I know the issue really is opening in the absence, and the act here speaks to the discretionary authority of any officer to examine and take account of any goods. But yes, I could understand the situation, and I don't know why, but it is normal, and I'm saying here cautiously that the customs should really look into the concerns of everyone, And in relation to examination of goods, they have that authority, and it shall be made at such a time and place as the officer may direct. So it's very interesting perspective, and perhaps I would have to investigate that further for the lady. And I understand really in terms of pilferage happens at every port, but it's something that I believe that we should take into account and see how best we can satisfy all the importers, including the small importers who bring in their little barrels. And as the lady is saying, things go messy. Now, let's have some discussion. I'll investigate that further. But to be possible, I believe that the examination can and ought to be done in the presence of the consignees or consignees representative. Caller, you're live. Caller?
Yeah, good evening, Patrick. What I want to take a little piece on that with the barrel business. Well, today my daughter get 2 barrels, and they called her last night and told her that I think was something to 9 or something, that to come down to the office for some money, and then they get the documents to go up the port. She went up to the port today. She got the 2 barrels. The barrels then was open, just like if you're going to the States and they cut off your lock off your suitcase, they put a tag on it letting you know that the barrel was open. Now, I don't say it's the right thing they're doing. But when people see a weakness, they take advantage of it. Because 95% of the people who get a barrel from overseas, is the family how to clear it for them. The family don't really know what was put in the barrel unless the person from the States or any part of the world call them and say, well, I sent 2 pair of shoes there, 1 for Tom or 1 for Harry or what the case may be. Then they will find out that the shoes them never in there. And that's right. But someone said too, no catching. I hire a truck, and the truck come pick up the barrel. Before I could turn around, the truck done out the yard gone. Now, I driving all the way going up to the house, and I ain't seeing the truck. I start to get scared too. One day in a buyer, one day them is the people who doesn't take things out of people's barrel. But, you know, as I said, go back to the old time days and check the thing in front of the people and them. But custom is not stranger for stealing. Because I know big custom officers in the custom keep up to furniture and all in there, and had the nose to keep a party. And when the woman went in there, the woman furniture was right in short. And she going customary, they go look for she furniture, saying that he ain't shipped yet. You understand me? How the woman marked them? And I sure you hear about that incident already.
That was before the war or after the war?
Huh?
That was before the war or after the war? It sounds like that's something a long time ago. That happens today with all the cameras and so on around, as you said?
No. I talking in a long time days with the furniture.
That's before the war.
So I don't know about the cameras. When my daughter went, she signed up the papers inside there.
Okay.
And then they give her the barrel and so on and everything. But I want to go now to the Calypso thing.
But I'll give you 30 seconds, though.
Okay, 30 seconds. All right. Now, Patches, when I watch and see what went on the other night with the opening of Carnival, none of them who in charge of Carnival could tell me who was the first Calypsonian in Sinkit. None of them, the first king, first Calypsonian that came in Sinkit. None of them could call 4 people that sing in long-term Carnival. And I want me to tell you, name some just to shorten it. Okay, the first Calypso king was Baco, Hush. You had Lord Harmony. You had King Lido. You had Cecil Rock. You had
who's Cecil Rock?
the King Rockefeller here. You make the first year I sing. Was in the theater, you know. You want to tell you the tune, I sing the Continental White Man from America?
Are you come, King?
No, come King, I need to make class.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
The people
but let other people get in. I'll come back a little later.
Thanks for your understanding. And just for clarity, the customs authority, right? Or the customs have the power to examine and take account of goods, and has the discretionary power to examine and take account of any goods which have been important. The issue is really whether they should open your barrels and enter them in your absence. And that's an issue really one is concerned about. We understand that. And the caller just made mention of, I know the TSA gets into your suitcases and they just put a note knowing that they searched the bag, right? But yes, it's an issue, and people have worked hard for their money, and it's something I believe that can be resolved without any much more difficulty for people. I think so. We do have a control of customs. He's a Christian, and he, I'm sure, knows how to really ensure that people get fairness. Caller, you live.
Good night, Patrick, good night.
Mr. Politics, how is the voice tonight?
Oh, my.
How is the voice?
Oh, Patrick, the voice, and, you know, I had a little minor problem going through. Until I went back there, you know.
Okay.
That was when I really text, when some tests and so, you know. So, I didn't feel it well, Patrick.
I bet you
I put God in your hand. I put everything in God's hands, you know. Because he's the one that provides for us, and he's the one that we got to look up to. And really, you know, sacrifice what he has done for us and what he continues to do for us, you know. Patrick, first, I want to thank God for the Federation of St. Nevis. I want to thank God for this unity government. Patrick, I do not think that the people of the Federation of St. Nevis could have got a better gift. 2015, the 16th, at the 16th of February, I don't think the country could have got a better gift. That is, when the people elect this team unity government, I believe that the people make a choice, and the choice will continue until whenever they get set up. Now, Patrick, since this unity government getting there, they're giving out gifts straight. Whether Christmas, during season, no season, the unity government is giving out gifts. Patrick, the first gift, the first gift is give back the money to sugar workers who ain't getting on, people like me, and others who work hard. And the second gift was the $500 for the poor and ordinary man who working under $300 a month. The poverty alleviation program. The second gift is the step up. And this government continue to do what they got to do for the ordinary man and woman. And in 4 years, gift after gift, double salary pay in 4 years, this unity in government. If never for this pandemic patches, I believe double salary will continue to pay, and other business places in the federation will adapt to the government and start to pay double salary too. So patches, we didn't necessarily know we are criticizing and saying, kind of thing, criticizing no more. People who praise the government, from people who praise the Prime Minister, praise him up, say he's the best, say he's this and he's that. No Prime Minister could be like him. He want now we get this done and get that done. Oh my. Watch a different tone, Patches. Watch a different tone and change. But Patches, if man could betray Jesus Christ, what man can do it, man? So, and Patches, this gift only comes because
the economical brains of our Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister. Because it was a Mr. Economical man. They're great in the economics. They export. The Prime Minister could have started and teach economics, but he comes back to the country to serve and doing well as the leader of this Federation of Stinky Nevis. So all you want to talk and say they got to say patches, they could say they got to say Stinky people in Momo. And all of those Calypsonian and other people who feel like they could betray the government and try to bring down the government by not taking the vaccine and going to do right with the government, the task force and the CMO also must do. That is their business. That is their business patches. Nobody more. Momo. Them do it because they want to make political mileage out of it to bring down the government. And I don't care none of them tell me. I am begging none of them nothing. I'm a hard working man in this federation. And this pandemic, Minister Politics is doing well. In spite of what people doing me and trying to do me, patches are doing well. I'm working for myself. I ain't got to go around and beg no politician, beg nobody nothing. Patches are a wonderful, the God bless the Federation of Stinky Nevis. All right.
Thank you very much, my dear brother Politics, and just for the update. In fact, the situation report is still looking good even tonight, as we had just 1 confirmed cases, and there's some 9 active cases as we speak. But I always look at the vaccination rate in terms of the percentage, and the percentage first doses are now 80.7%, and the second doses are 74.4%. And in terms of the population target, the target is to have 7% of the total population vaccinated. And to date, we have some 25,182 persons vaccinated, and there's some, what am I saying here? Some 53,568 persons vaccinated, but the total fully vaccinated, meaning having the double dose or 2 doses, are 74.4%. And the good news is, and something I've been advocating for a long time, that we have to live with COVID. So we have dropped, or are going to drop the quarantine requirements as of Saturday, I think it is, and that's good news. And everybody I've spoken to, applauding the government for that move. At 9:24, caller, Mr. Cole, let's take this other caller. Caller, you alive?
Okay, Patches, thank you. I get back in again. It seems like the barrel had in so much things that you send down, that who opened the barrel behind your back, take out everything, and only one gift you bring down.
You ain't get shoes, right?
But remember something now. I believe that's the reason why the monkey them down in Lowland disturbing people backyard garden. Because of the farm administration carry a big labor friend up the mountain where the monkey them was, so they run down.
Oh, Lord.
They should not have carry her up there. Keep her down here, man, because she's a big fan of theirs. Now, that is you, when the rat farmer and all of them, all of Mr. Kunumunu and Dr. Population and what you name there, Craftman, and then the most disrespectful one up and down the street interfering with people who he know back in unity and calling all the name down to the lights degree, like I said. When they're talking, they forget that once ago nobody of ZZ could refer to the people's action name and ZZ. They had to say up the hill. Which hill? Brimstone Hill? Now what is this now? This is democracy at its best. Anybody could go ZZ and talk as long as you ain't going up there go mash up the character of the country, and to mess up people's integrity and ZZ. One of them who does criticize the way in government as deputy, Mr. Kunomono, and he couldn't go ZZ, go speak. He had to report to somebody who nobody voted for. He was selected to read the manuscript, and because he didn't do it, they let him go up there to talk. And you paying for ZZ talk, sure, out of your pocket, your own money that you work for, you're giving it back. So let them measure them too, and see who bad and who good. Now, I am not saying that the people at the custom are not doing their work. They know what the Constitution said. But wrong is wrong and right is right. It doesn't matter whether custom are in your yard, or police come to search you in your place and you're in there. Nobody's supposed to go in your yard to search behind your back. Because people go in your yard, the heart of man desperately wicked. They could go in your yard and plant something in there, and then go down tongue with it, and you bring and say, well, see what they find in your yard in there. So, search, well, you're going to search for me in front of my face. Case closed with that. But we voted for people to run the country as parliamentarian. And you all cannot see everything everywhere and each time it happens. But according to applications, people are accepted to do a job. Because we who are going to apply for a job, we put out our best resume to all you, and all you look at it, assess it, and then you choose who you think is qualified to do the job. But then now, after we now feel like, well, oh, they picked me because my resume impressed them, and we get the job, we turn worthless and greedy, and we start to deal under the table. A lot of things are going wrong in the country that the government ministers don't know. They do not know, but it's the people them who they choose to work underneath them come down the line. They are the ones who stabbing the government in the back by curryfairing and friending and giving people things who did not meet the requirement. And those who meet the requirement, they got them shoving back on the backbone now. There are two kind of people out here. People of want and people of need. So you got to look at those who are in need and who qualify. Not everybody in need should get. Because nobody who come from overseas ain't even a citizen of the country. You only come here upon your little visa and your passport. And you get a house in front of people who born here and who need one. Look for your own people first. And those people who they got underneath them doing a lot of maldow behind the back and making the ministers them get word. A lot of them doing it, giving a friend 1,500 work, and somebody else who really need, who got a load of family, can't get a work. I am calling on all our ministers, check upon the people you all have underneath you, carrying out your duty of the government. They're messing it up.
Okay.
And when they get people from unity, vexed, they start abuse, and that is what they want. That is what they like. But anyway, all of them who want to mash up the government, they can't get the dough. I could talk and others can talk, and we will defend our country. We ain't coming out and say nothing else but to defend our country and praise up our country. Pastor, have a good night. Thank you.
Have a good night as well, dear brother. Do I need to go and repent? He's carrying a lot of hatred in his heart for certain families in St. Kitts, reads this email. I don't know what these two families have done to him, but from my political conversations with him, he don't like a bone in the contender Congress Maynard family and Al Powell Billy Herbert's family. So I'm not surprised that he went all out to ensure that Congress did not win. Now at the end of the day, the hypocrite is calling for all leaders of the Labour Party to come together. Rubbish and hypocrisy, reads this email. 9:29, call you live. Hello, caller. Okay. Are you there, caller? Seems I've missed these calls. But this email, other email reads, my Straight Dog family, at 29:09, let's take this call. Call you live.
Yes, good evening, honorable Patches.
Just speak away. You had on just a while ago. Why you let go you fool him on the radio and he could talk so much? Have a good night.
Have a good night as well. We go back to the lines. Caller, you live.
Patrick, I want to tell you some of the powers of the custom, what a lot of people do not know. A custom could come and come to your house and walk in your house and turn up your house. A policeman can't do that. You understand me? Custom have a lot of power. When I am not backing them up with the ignorance with the barrel searching, you know. You see, because if somebody will go up there and they get a wrong thing in the barrel, who they gonna lock up? Who they gonna charge? If somebody in the customs say a barrel mark Cecil Rock and they want to get even with me, they go in the barrel, put in what they put in, and they say we got him now. Okay? So I think what they're doing is wrong. Outright wrong. They need to go back to the old time days and do the thing the proper way. Nobody in a hurry not going nowhere. You see, when you're going to Springfield, how the horse and all them taking the whole time carry up because they know you ain't coming back this side. So I don't know what hurry custom in to get things out of there. Because anytime a poor man gets in a barrel, he gone up to make sure he get it. From the time the family say they're selling a barrel for them, they sleep on the custom step from the time they see the boat come in. Okay? So I don't know why they are doing that. They got to know where they get the orders from, but they need to address because it just causing disputes in the country. You have a lot of people are doing a lot of wrong things, as your culture just said, right? They're doing a lot of wrong things because they want to damage team unity. And there was some man in team unity as representative for different districts, and they're doing the same thing because they're after the Honorable Timothy Harris. The God choice. It's God's choice why he's there. You understand me? And he is doing his best. He come to me, up, but he's still helping. They couldn't do them kind of thing to Dougie. You understand me? But they want to do it. But what the Prime Minister needs to do, he have a chance now. Who's getting the $500 and the $1,000? And if they're vaccinated, they should not get none. And another thing again he needs to do, all of them who abusing, publish the name who getting the $500 in the paper. Who expects? I don't go back to your money. Okay. Them custody and that feed you.
Okay. Thank you very much, my dear brother. I didn't really want to interrupt you, but just to clarify that authority or the power you just said that the customs have, you know, there's condition to that power. Because yes, you're right. When an officer has reasonable grounds to believe that anything that is liable to forfeiture by virtue of any customs enactment at or concealed in any building or other place or any offense has been committed under or by virtue of any customs enactment, he or she may have to be authorized by the control of custom in writing to do, enter any building, and it continues. But don't lose sight of the fact, section 2, which says, without prejudice to the power conferred by subsection 1 or to any other power conferred by this act, if a magistrate is satisfied by information upon oath given by an officer that there are reasonable grounds to suspect as aforesaid, he or she may by warrant, so he has to get a warrant by a magistrate signed his or her hand given on any such authorize that officer or any person named in the warrant to enter and search any building or place so named. So the customs can't really just walk in, as you say, caller, I disagree, because that's not what the legislation says. He or she has to procure a warrant signed by a magistrate. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you live. Let's take this call. Caller, you are live.
Honorable Ian Patrick River.
My dear brother, Jamda.
How are you, my brother?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm fine. I want to thank you to continue the good works and looking after poor people, as you always does in your town. Oh, yesterday I smiled. I smiled because it looked like the people were suffering for these gifts, especially from you. But that is, I was so delighted tonight when I watch a man walking the Liburd send a post, 5-finger jack, 5-finger jack. He walk in the Liburd with you. He should be ashamed to trying to disrespect you. That is, you don't use powder, you don't use cocaine. That is, you have solved this country. You never in a collusion with black man with wood. You never in collusion with minister with 4 Thomas money. The Calbound them can't get paid. And them people don't behave themselves and leave people alone. The people are not the skeleton them in the closet. The man has sent a post that try to disrespect you. You have to see it. You have to see it. 9-finger jack. You might have cool out. You look like Crazy John. 9-finger jack. You look like Crazy John. I mean, that is, this is somebody who's smoking drugs. Because I look like you rehabilitated yet. And I want to interfere with you. Then they should be ashamed of themselves. He should have locked up. Timothy should have called an investigation on black man on the Douglas. We did lots of millions of dollars. We did when I said the resources in Bastille. And 4 Thomas money with Calbound and others. Still talking about can't get there. They forget when people see them going backward with bag of money. Remember, but that is my, you have a good night, here. You have a good night. They can't stop this, you know. I don't think they know who they're dealing with. You have solved this country well. And none of them could stop that. And none of them could stop me from saying these things. You have solved well. And when it comes to government, you know, you have set the bar very high. That's it. Have a good night, my brother.
Have a good night, my dear brother. Jam down. Thanks for the commendation. I want to say to the Prime Minister, read this email. You are doing a fantastic job in your leadership of the Federation. Do not be daunted by the silly comments of McMahon and that rude, discreditable, notorious comedian on radio trying desperately to bring you down. They have a worrying problem with you, all because you occasionally declare that St. Kitts Nevis is doing better than some of the rest of islands. They grudge you for talking the truth. Don't stop, Prime Minister. A grudge, they grudge. And even the doctor on the groundless program has a massive problem too with you over that. The good thing is they could and will talk, but they dare not stop you. Reads this email. Caller, you are live. It's 22 before 10. Let's take this other caller. Miss that one. Caller, you are live.
That is.
How are you?
This is the major.
How is the major?
How are you?
I am peaceful.
I know I believe you went Sunday school, isn't it?
3 of them.
You went 3?
Yes.
I went 5.
Wow.
So I went 2 more than you. I'm telling you.
Kudos.
But if you listen,
you didn't say for the whole Sunday school.
Well, yeah. Well, you know how the hours used to run.
You took up your collection. Yeah.
Well, sometimes I put it in because
they buy sugar cake.
Of course, you know the thing. No, but listen, this is something that just run through my mind, boy. And I just went in my Bible there, and I look at it. Because it's all right, I ain't going to say that. But what I read in this Bible here, if you look at Psalms 26 and verse 3, here we say, a whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass and a rod for the fool's back. You do your interpretation.
Okay, Major. The Bible says, "Be ye not as a horse or a mule, lest they will come near you." Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you live.
Yes, I'm so agree with culture. I'm so agree with culture. As one they say that they have a lot of spear plug in round hole, and the spear plug cannot fit round hole. There's so much thing going on, and they're doing all this to bring down the country. They try to bring down the government, because then when election time comes, this can be a big issue with the barrel business. It's not one time, and people been talking about it. People been talking about these things, and I'm a great culture what he's saying. You look into it. Bye bye.
Thank you, my dear. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, just turn your equipment or your radio down, and just talk to the telephone.
Yeah, Patrick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm calling concerning the East Side bus terminal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. That terminal opened since 2015. No, not 2015. 2019. I guess. I think.
All it before that.
2019.
2019. That late?
Yes. 2019. Yes.
No, man, it was before that. December in 2018, I think it was.
Yeah. Now, the problem with that bus stop, it built some distance away from town. It's not much. However, what happening here, what happening there is where we have a gap in between, where there's a loop, there's a hole where if you build a bus stop like that, you have to, I think you were supposed to make provision to put better security for busmen. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm seeing that we ain't having no protection from no police, no protection from nothing. Anybody could come and do anything there. And it just goes like that from since 2018 to now.
But I'm sorry to interrupt you, but there was a security firm engaged. I understand they dismissed the firm. This the new ministry.
We haven't.
There's no security now.
Anything done with that bus? We are suffering there. The busmen there are very angry at you.
Mm-hmm.
They are angry at you.
For what?
To put them there without the proper
security
to make it work.
Yeah, but
it is not working. Recently there's somebody who put a new bar there.
Mm-hmm.
They had to close down and leave because nobody is coming there.
I'm sorry to interrupt your caller, but I think we need to clarify the air in this one. Originally, the phase 2 of the bus terminal, that's to the southern side, that big building there, old building.
Yeah, yes.
A unit of the police force should have been upstairs there, still have an outpost. That was the original plan. It was discussed with the permanent secretary in the ministry, Osmond Petty. The commissioner of police visited there, and decisions were made to locate them there, so at least you would have had that security. Additionally, though, in the meanwhile, there was a security firm engaged there. I understand just a few months ago, or maybe longer than that the security firm was dismissed by the ministry, the current ministry.
I see that happen.
Yes, so there was in fact security there, and there was a plan to have that police outpost there. But I take your point there. I take your point. And criticism makes you good, nonetheless.
Well, even if we had police security there, it would have made a difference. But we had, since it's open, we have no police presence.
That is correct.
Nothing at all. And we are very angry. Very, very angry. This is not country problem. This is all of we that works there.
Well, I hope the commissioner is listening. He's a good man, and you have thousands of people that apply.
You could imagine there's a bus stop, and people come on the outside and the outskirts at the bus stop and catch bus, and there's a bus stop. Got bus coming up and loading in front of bus stop. Where in the world something like that could happen? Where? Only in St. Christopher? It's hard for us. It is hard. We need it rectified.
I've heard you.
Yesterday, we want it rectified like yesterday. Last week, year before. We cannot take it no more. We're angry at you for putting us that far, and we making less. Nothing. All day you in a bus stop making 2 trips. How could you make money? How could you make money from that? How could you pay and look after your business with 2 trips per day?
I take your point, caller. I take your point. Your criticisms are well on board.
It needs to be rectified.
Yes,
because some is boasting how much they make because he has a number of bus go through town.
But let me ask you a question.
I think that everybody's supposed to work from the same place.
Let me ask you a question. There's a problem. We all agree, right?
Yes.
Do you think there's a solution to it?
Yes, I think there is a solution. I think it could be a solution.
And the majority of bus drivers agree with that solution?
Yes, the majority is agree with it.
So then there shouldn't be much of a problem. In fact,
but the majority is for the solution.
Yes, so.
But it has a minority where still continue to do what they have to do. If we not getting the support from the authorities, the highest authorities like the commissioner, the prime minister, the board of transport, we are not getting anywhere. They turning us down year after year.
But in any democracy, I never heard of a minority ruling.
But that is what's happening here. So this is what's happening here with the busmen.
Okay. Well, just
because like this, it goes like this. They seize the loophole and they're going to use it because everybody wants to make more than, and one man wants to make more than the next man. Nobody wants to line up. It's a line-up system, first come, first go service. And where they see a loophole, they're going to take it just to be in front. Now, the law enforcement are supposed to make sure that things are done equally, and they are not doing that. No police present. The police are asleep in St. Kitts. Traffic department is dead in St. Kitts. Dead.
Okay, I got your point, my dear brother.
I'm very passionate about it, Patrick, and you.
That is what straight talk is all about.
Please do not sweep it under the rug. We need it rectified today.
Well, I promise to come and have a chat, a dialogue with you guys tomorrow. You know, I am not the Minister of Transport, I must forewarn you, but I will listen and advocate what I'll have to advocate on your behalf, if I can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We're looking forward to see you.
I'm looking forward to seeing you as well, my dear brother. And just for clarification, that bus stop is just, I don't even think it's 40 yards from that bus stop down on Brand Street and Johnson Street. So it's not any different. There are issues I know where they took out bus stops on the way down. And I know even before the bus terminal was constructed, they had a bunch, a number of bus drivers who went down to town, so to speak. I remember speaking to about 14 of them, and their complaint was that they've been given a summons if they came up to Brand Street and took up people. So that's a problem, and there must be some solution to the problems. I do strongly believe. 11 before 10 o'clock, caller, you live. Hello, caller?
Yes. Patches, rat don't like cat because They don't want cat catch them thief in. You know why the Trustman so vexed with the Prime Minister? Because when the Prime Minister was doing the Ministry of Finance, when Douglas give him to do, that is when Prime Minister Harris catch him depriving the Treasury of the Treasury money. And that's why he hate Dr. Timothy Harris. Good night. Done.
Night, my dear brother. Thank you. We did, in fact, have a mutual agreement. But let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Yes, caller.
That is jamming on me again. That is, I want to appeal to the Prime Minister to please to deal with the custom situation up there. It's a nasty scenario. Everybody can't be right. Something wrong, Patches. You know I work up there for years. And everybody can't be wrong. All the nationals them coming home. Say they're sending the barrel since last year. Man, don't come telling us about the camera. Camera should up there when the little boy lose his life. Camera should have the little boy so we see who take his life up there. We don't want to hear that. People want to see the naked eyes are coming out the barrel and we're missing. The people are stupid. Mr. Prime Minister, please correct it. Correct it. It's so good. The controller rule itself. Correct that shit is wrong. Something happening, man. Something definitely happening. It's so good. I'm patching the bus stand, the new bus terminal over there. Is the commissioner slackness got it? How he running? Because he said he was going to go there and deal with the work in the busman them, and it ain't gone. It ain't gone. And the problem's still happening. Sometimes you get down there, you see people outside catching bus with you on the main road. It's wrong. Over by the empty land, seeing down where you put them nice sidewalks, seeing down thing for bus. Come on, man. Who won the country? Who won the country? That is all a good night. This is Jam Down talking here.
Yes, Jam Down. We got you loud and clear. Always passionate, my dear brother. Mr. Patches, I want you to play the tape of Douglas referring to Dwyer Astafan as a traitor who came on board pretending to be a Labour. Continue playing these tapes. It's hurting them, especially that squalid so-called DJ who say that you Patches don't have ability to make these tapes, and is somebody doing it for you with his fresh forwarders. What he knows about your qualities, skills, and capabilities, grudge and envious, and will never be able to stop you. Read that email. Caller, you're live. Okay, we missed that call. Let's take this other call. Caller, you're live. Okay, we seem to be missing these calls. It's 7 before the 10 o'clock hour. I'll take this other email as well. Let me take this caller first. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller.
Hi, good night.
Good night, sir.
Hi, Patches.
Yes, sir.
Very pleasant good evening to you.
Good evening, my brother.
I don't think I have enough time to go through details tonight. But I'm asking bus drivers and drivers on the whole to be a bit more merciful and kind to what we call dumb animals when they meet them on the road. I saw a busman kill a dog on Tuesday morning in Old Road. And you know, only God alone could tell me that he did not see that dog from about 200 yards away. And you know the bad thing about that passage? The dog has 4 pups, which is present nursing. Okay? He just ran over the dog like that in the middle of the street. Okay? And I'm kind of asking all drivers, busmen, and all operated vehicles to remember, all creatures great and small, the good Lord made them all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I haven't heard that for a long time. All creatures great and small. Yes, the good Lord made them all. Be cautious, be respectful, protect the animals. That caller is making the point. Some bona fide supporters and a few traitors like Sam and Dwyer are calling on Dr. Drew to reunite the fragmented Labour Party. What these jokers don't realize and understand that you cannot beat a dead horse. All these puppy shows including the disgraced McMahon, is to say and do everything that appears to be amenable to the voters, just to get back a foothold in government. That is all. I realize that they have no sense of purpose and has receded from the SKN Next Gen to the SKN LP within 1 year. The voters and people in general of this federation are not so gullible, unsuspecting and credulous to put the country in the hands of a set of inexperienced nominal boys and girls where Douglas, Sam Dwyer, McMahon and others are given the privilege to be the ones who run the government from behind the scenes. No way. This must not be allowed to happen, for St. Kitts and Nevis is running very good. Could you imagine, as I reflected one day, that Jeffrey Hanley is your prime minister? He ran for the office of leader of the Labour Party, but he got a good slap, political slap, from the people. Patches, yes, tell Dwyer we want investigations. We want investigations based on information in the letter Dougie wrote to then Chairman Liburd, where Dwyer's name was mentioned to have played a part in the prison riots. We want investigations on the Prime Minister's car that was to be blown up. All that information is in the letter. Ask Dwyer about these things. The file is soon to be dispatched to Scotland Yard. Yes, Dwyer, we want investigations. Reads that email. My straight dog family. Let's go. This other email reads, St. Kitts and Nevis needs an allergist doctor urgently to work along with Dr. Laws and Dr. Wilkinson. This is not the time for the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis to be relaxing because the coronavirus cases have gone down. Everybody needs to wear their masks, practice social distancing, and hand sanitizing. And I'll read this other email. Patches, yes, I think I read that before about investigation. My Straight Talk family, it's 4 before the 10 o'clock hour. As we wind down tonight's programming, we started, in case you join me in a tardy way, in late, and I started a bit late, for which I apologize, but we spoke about giving. And we've reflected on the days when we all give to others, no matter what some people say. And as I said, in particular, politicians who don't want to give but go into politics to get. And we can pinpoint a lot of politicians who have gone into politics, are in politics, went into politics, and we'll have those looking to get into politics who just want to get. But the emphasis tonight was giving, and giving is a ministry of itself, a ministry of its own, or on its own. And there's a commandment from God. Giving is a command from God, and He expects everybody to obey this commandment, or this command, especially those who are Christians. And as we reflect on this season, the season of Advent, a season of love, a season of joy, and a season of happiness, we have to remember to give. Caller, you alive. Hello, caller?
Yes, good evening, man. How are you doing this evening, Patrick? Good evening.
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good, man. I was just trying to catch you before you get off tonight, man.
Yeah.
Some great callers there tonight, man. The show tonight is kind of relaxed and nice and easy.
Yes, we're giving.
Yeah, I must implore you, man, and, give you a thumbs up. And I want to wish you the best going forward. Enjoy the holiday season. Enjoy your time down in the Federation, man. Make sure you spread that love around, man. A lot of people been yearning to see us, so I know you're going to reach out and see your people, but I'm just kind of maybe hoping that you can probably have like a meet and greet event, man, because a lot of people been, missing you, and from listening to your callers over all this time, You know, I believe that for all the time you was gone, you should maybe try to put on a meet and greet event so everybody can come out and, you know, have a chance to see you before you go back to your post in New York. All right, so that's just my little take for tonight, man. And, you know, I want to say the best of luck going forward and enjoy the holiday season, man, all right? To you and everybody there in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Thank you very much, and we do wish you the same as well, my dear brother. And I'll take it. Thanks a lot. I'll take on board your advice. Yes, meet and greet. And that's a good thing, because, you know, time flies so fast, though. Time, as they said, waits on no man. And the time has gone even tonight, my Straight Talk family. But we called on each and every one of us. I've called on each and every one of us to start giving. We've seen what's happened in 2020, coming over from December 2019 with that coronavirus-induced pandemic, which did not discriminate. It did not discriminate against country. It did not discriminate against color. It did not discriminate against youth, elderly. It had no age discrimination. It really brought the whole world to a standstill. It did not discriminate against big and or small country. And now we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I think we need to take an introspective look at the way we live and the way we treat each other. Let's take this call. Your live caller. This caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Patel.
My brother, Bible man, you just woke up.
Yeah.
You just woke up when we were going to wind down.
Well, listen here. You ain't coming for this house up then?
Yes, of course, I'm coming for this house up. They overripe now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It'll make a good drink still. It will still make a good drink. Tomorrow?
Yeah, you can come tomorrow.
Okay, I'll find John. I'll find the Bible man. Okay?
Yeah, you will get some white one and you get some green one.
Yes. Okay. I commit to you. I get that sauce up from you. Make a nice drink. What you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I had to use about 2 of them today because...
Oh, I'm so sorry, my brother.
I don't know how them spoil.
I'm so sorry. Okay. I will come and get my sauce up. Thank you.
Yeah. But I always tell you that nobody could stop you. You understand? Nobody could stop you. And the one only God in the to hold on from what nobody could walk in your shoes. That's the situation there. But I want to tell you something. See, I am not stopping to learn, but I want to tell you something. You know, for 20 years, what you see, torment from torment, and there is nobody. I getting the $500. And I never ever see that before. Never see that before. And people who are getting it. Right now, we can't tell you if the views in the government or not, but at Timothy now pick up who to give. And so people should not bite the hand that's feeding them. And so that is the money that give is run. And I could tell you, there are, on my behalf, there are people in the government are messing up. They want to harm the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is going to lay down an order to do something, and people refuse to do it. And all of them say, I have to tell a man that God is going to deal with him. You understand? Because all of them, bubble after bubble, bubble after bubble, especially if you come from consistency 6, you're trying to dig the Prime Minister in the back. And the Prime Minister is supposed to look into that. You understand? And when people lose their job, the first thing they want to say, a victimized nation. The poor people must be looked after. You understand? And they are tramping on the poor people back. Well, the party minister said tomorrow, until I see tomorrow.
Okay, my brother.
Okay, you take care.
Thank you very much. Take care as well. I'll perhaps take 2 more calls if they can be guided by the rules of brevity. Caller, you're live. Can you use 30 seconds? Hello, caller.
Good night.
Yeah, just turn your radio down, equipment down. Good night.
I want to get your number for a long.
Hello?
I want to get your number for a long time. You were giving it out the other night, but I didn't get it completely. 664?
662?
662?
3617.
2617.
3617.
3617.
Yes, my dear.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Everybody knows that number. So here's what. My time is done and I've got to run. I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, as He does always. I want to thank all those who called. I've heard the issues as it relates to the opening of your barrels in the absence of yourself, the customers, importers. And that's something I believe that customs can address without much difficulty, irrespective of the power that's invested by law in the customs. But the fact is, it's about service. It's about serving the people. And the customs and all government entities, offices ought to provide a service to the people. Because the people are in fact the government. And I can only implore those in authority to, yes, you have power to examine and take account of your goods, but you also have the power to ensure that the service is a service that's acceptable to the people. Because yes, breaking a seal or an entering one's barrel, it's you have its authority, but it has its pros and it has its cons. As if you open that barrel and you find something contraband, you open that barrel in the absence of that individual, that consignee, but you just close it back and said that and try to charge that person for the contraband, I don't think that would stand up in the court of law. So it has its pros and it has its cons. But I believe for this season, we ought to focus on service and serving the people. And sometimes just yield that authority you have. We've heard about the busmen complaining as well. And we heard the doctor talking about the busmen and being merciful to dumb animals. He referred to them as, I think, and he referred to that dog. I don't think they're dumb animals, unless I heard him wrong. But I think I understand what he meant. Good doctor. And I think, as I said to the bus association of bus members that call, there's a problem. You have, when we open that bus terminal, it still is one of the best bus terminals in the entire Caribbean. And management must manage. The ministry must manage. It can be managed properly. Whatever the issues with those going down to town and not using the bus terminal, it could be solved and must be solved. I don't hear the same thing with the West Bus Terminal. And the West Bus Terminal, I'm sure they'd like to have one like the East Bus Terminal, but the space did not allow it. So let's come together and get it done. I need to go stop by the taxi drivers as well. They do have their issues. I was down at Port Zante, I think it was on Tuesday. I didn't have, the time didn't permit me to come across by the taxi drivers. They too, our ambassadors I call them, they too have their issues, and I think they can be resolved. All these issues ought to be resolved and make people happy, become again as one. And if we start to respect each other and get back to giving respect to each other, that's important as well. As I said, in my own ministry of giving, I'm guided by Corinthians. Whosoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly. And whoever sows generously will also reap generously. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give. And for those of you who are wondering what I am doing in terms of my ministry of giving, I've been always giving, and I will always give, because it is what I receive that made me the man I am today. My teachers, my neighbors, my friends, they all gave to me. So I'm just giving back to their offspring, their children, their grandchildren. That's nothing hard to comprehend. I give back to my community, because my community of East Bastia, my community of Newtown in East Bastia, made me what I am today. So giving and understanding and yielding to the command of Almighty God is nothing too difficult to do. We gave to our neighbors. We made sure our neighbors' children were okay. We made sure that we all live together as one. Yes, some people play their politics, but yes, we can get over that. I'll continue to give, and I ask you to give as well, because the Lord God likes a cheerful giver. And that's in the Bible. That we ought to be guided by. Until we connect on Monday, and Monday I'll have a special program with some guests on Monday. I'll tell you some more about it over the weekend. But until we connect, have yourselves the best of what's left of this week. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. We go to church on Sunday. We're going to worship at Zion Moravian Church. Those of you who wish to come along, please come along. We're going to worship together at the Zion Moravian Church. You told me, wherever I'm going, you are coming. I am going to the Moravian Church on Sunday, my church. I ask you to come along with me. Let us worship at the Zion Moravian Church up there on Victoria Road. Yes, you said, wherever I'm going, you are coming. And I can assure you tonight, as I've assured you before, I am not going anywhere without you. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Monday for another edition of Straight Talk. Be good to yourselves and to all whom you meet, my Straight Talk family. And remember, whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you just got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Monday.
In the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceives that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. Down on my knees, to the Lord I kneel and pray, with my heart and soul, beg Him to take me through each day, my guardian to keep and my guide. Over every step I take, He will preside. So whatever my mind conceives that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. Courage from above, no man I'll fear, since God protects me with His love. Strong, pure and true, and so sincere, 'cause my knees I'll always stay to the Lord in prayer. So whatever my mind conceives that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren